Looking for must-play games that deliver on every front? From storytelling and combat to pure game feel? Whether you're into single-player games packed with emotional depth or RPGs with endless immersion, this list has you covered. These aren't just great games, they're the perfect ones. The kind that hit hard, play smooth, and stay with you. These are 15 AAA games that nailed everything. Let's dive in. Rocksteady's Batman Arkham Knight is a masterclass in nailing every damn thing a game should. This game is the peak of the Arkham trilogy, and possibly the best superhero game ever made. Rocksteady nailed the narrative, wrapping up Bruce Wayne's story with emotional weight, psychological depth, and a genius twist involving the Joker. The story constantly messes with your mind, blurring reality and hallucination in a way only Batman's world could pull off. Now the combat, it's the gold standard. The free flow system is buttery smooth, and you genuinely feel like you're in total control. Whether you're taking down 20 goons in a warehouse or silently picking off enemies in Predator mode, the pacing is perfect. And the game feel? Immersive beyond belief. Gotham is huge, alive, and dripping with atmosphere. Gliding over rain-slick rooftops, hearing sirens in the distance, or diving into a fight, it never gets old. This isn't just the best Batman game, it's one of the best action games ever made. Hades is proof that a roguelite can be both endlessly replayable and narratively rich. Roguelikes don't get better than Hades. Supergiant crafted a game where everything, combat, storytelling, art, music, is polished to perfection. Every run feels fresh, every death fuels the narrative, and every weapon changes how you play. Combat? Lightning fast, fluid, and endlessly satisfying. Zagreus dashes, slashes, and casts with silky responsiveness. Every weapon is unique and satisfying. Every boon adds new layers of chaos and synergy, and dodging through a screen full of enemy attacks is pure flow state. The narrative is where Hades shines. Most roguelikes treat story as an afterthought. Here, death is part of the story. Every escape attempt reveals more about Zag's family, the gods, and the underworld. The game feel is impeccable. Controls are tight. Visuals are stylish. Audio, godlike. From the sound of Zagreus dashing to the pulse of the music in boss fights, it's sensory perfection. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Square Enix didn't just remaster a classic, they redefined it. Final Fantasy VII Remake takes one of gaming's greatest stories and elevates it with breathtaking visuals, a combat system that blends action and strategy perfectly. Combat? A flawless hybrid. The ATB system keeps the tactical depth of turn-based while letting you swing Cloud's Buster Sword in real time. Switching between characters mid-fight keeps battles dynamic. The narrative expands the original in ways fans never expected. The whispers, the deeper character arcs. I'm going to stop talking about the narrative because I don't want to spoil anything. Game feel is off the charts. The world feels alive. Midgar is grimy, massive, and dense. The music adapts dynamically to your situation, and every environment is packed with detail. Elden Ring is From Software's magnum opus, an open-world narrative built on mystery, silence, and discovery. Lore is hidden in item descriptions, cryptic NPC dialogue, and visual storytelling. Every location tells its own tale. Combat is brutally satisfying. Whether you're using katanas, greatswords, magic, or a giant jar on a stick, it all feels powerful. Bosses are relentless and memorable, each demanding mastery. You earn every victory, and that makes it unforgettable. As for game feel, it's pure immersion. The lands between is massive but never empty. Wind howls through mountaintops. Dragons drop from the sky, and you're never told exactly what to do, just invited to explore. NieR Automata is a once-in-a-generation kind of game. This is a philosophical masterpiece wrapped in razor-sharp combat and an emotionally devastating story. NieR Automata is a genre-defying experience that blends hack-and-slash action, bullet hell chaos, and existential storytelling into something unlike anything else. Combat? Buttery smooth. 2B's swordplay is fast, fluid, and endlessly stylish. Dodging lasers mid-air, juggling enemies with pod attacks, and switching between weapons on the fly feels incredible. The way the game shifts perspectives, from character action to side-scroller to top-down shooter, keeps every fight fresh. The narrative? A gut punch of emotion and existential dread. 2B, 9S, and A2's journey through a war between machines and androids starts as sci-fi action but spirals into deep questions about humanity, purpose, and free will. Game feel? Perfect. The way 2B's skirt flows as she sprints, the weight of a heavy sword swing, the eerie beauty of the soundtrack, every detail pulls you deeper into its bleak, beautiful world.
Have mercy. Have mercy.
Bloodborne. From Software took the Souls formula, drenched it in gothic horror, and cranked the aggression to 11. Bloodborne isn't just a masterpiece. It's the best Soulsborne game ever made, with combat, atmosphere, and lore so dense you'll be obsessed for years. Combat? Perfection. No shields, just dodging, parrying, and relentless aggression. Bloodborne's narrative isn't just told. It's whispered in the dark, hidden in cryptic item descriptions, and etched into the grotesque architecture of Yharnam itself. Bloodborne's storytelling is deliberately elusive, rewarding those who dig into its lore with revelations that linger long after the credits roll. Game feel? Unmatched. The sound design, the squelch of a visceral attack, the howls of beasts in the distance is horrifyingly immersive. Yharnam's streets are claustrophobic, every corner hiding unspeakable horrors. The Last of Us. Part 1 isn't just about surviving a fungal apocalypse. It's about the terrible, beautiful things love makes us do, wrapped in some of the most grounded, desperate combat ever put to screen. Every bullet feels precious, every brick thrown in panic could mean life or death. The narrative needs no introduction, but what's astonishing is how perfectly the gameplay reinforces it. When you strangle a man to save Ellie, you feel Joel's desperation. Game feel? Unparalleled attention to detail. The way foliage moves as you crawl through overgrown ruins, how light filters through broken hospital windows, the way infected twitch and spasm in the darkness. This is a world that breathes decay. Even the smallest environmental tells can mean death, making exploration as tense as it is beautiful. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. From Software took everything they knew about combat and distilled it into pure blade perfection. Sekiro demands mastery like no other game, set against a stunning mythological Japan where every clash of swords feels like life or death. Combat? The best swordplay ever put in a game, period. Where other games let you roll away, Sekiro forces you to stand your ground, deflecting, countering, and breaking posture in a lethal back and forth that feels more like a deadly conversation than mere button presses. The narrative is From Software's most direct yet, weaving a tragic tale of loyalty and resurrection through gorgeous Japanese voice acting. Play it in Japanese, trust me. The game feel is pure precision. The sword clashing sound, the perfect parry spark, the moment you deathblow a mini-boss, it all clicks. The world of Ashina is tragic, beautiful, and dangerous. And when you finally conquer a boss that seemed impossible hours ago, the adrenaline rush is unreal. Hey guys, if you watched this far, then maybe give the video a like. Means a lot. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is the perfect storm of over-the-top action, wild storytelling, and razor-sharp design. The narrative is ridiculously bold yet surprisingly thoughtful. It dives into war, identity, morality, and memes through the lens of Raiden, a cyborg ninja with a tragic past and a thirst for justice. Combat is where Rising truly shines. It's lightning fast, incredibly responsive, and endlessly stylish. Parrying is the backbone, and it's deeply satisfying once you master it. Blade Mode, where you slow time and slice enemies any way you want. It's surgical carnage. Every encounter, especially boss fights like Monsoon or Jetstream Sam, feels like a skill test and a spectacle. The game feel is pure adrenaline. The controls are tight, the camera rarely gets in the way, and the animations are so fluid you forget you're playing. The soundtrack deserves its own praise. Dynamic metal tracks that kick in as fights escalate, syncing perfectly with the action. When Rules of Nature hits mid-air, mid-sword clash, you're not playing a game anymore, you're living a music video. And it feels perfect.
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped.
Bioshock is legendary, a game that changed the way we think about narrative in the medium. It's not just about Rapture, the crumbling underwater utopia. It's about control, free will, and ideology. Every audio log, every statue, every ruined hallway tells a piece of the story. Andrew Ryan is one of gaming's greatest villains, and his vision for Rapture, and its downfall, is unforgettable. Combat is a strategic playground of powers and weapons. You don't just shoot, you use the environment. Freeze enemies and shatter them. Set traps. Electrify water. Combine plasmids with firearms for creative chaos. Game feel is hauntingly immersive. The Art Deco design of Rapture, the echoing halls, the eerie whispers, it all pulls you in. Lighting, sound, and visual storytelling work in harmony. Bioshock doesn't just deliver gameplay, it delivers atmosphere, impact, and a lasting legacy. Ghost of Tsushima is a visual and emotional masterwork, a game where every frame looks like a painting. The narrative is gripping, centered on Jin Sakai's internal conflict between honor and survival. His transformation from samurai to ghost isn't just about tactics, it's about identity. The story is rich with personal stakes, tragic moments, and memorable characters. Combat is great. Every duel feels personal. Standoffs are cinematic perfection, and each enemy type demands specific stances and strategies. The game feel is peak immersion. Riding across fields as leaves swirl around you, guided by wind instead of a waypoint, it's pure elegance. Animations are buttery smooth. Haptics on PS5 are sublime, and the world is dense with beautiful detail. The soundtrack swells at just the right moments. Ghost of Tsushima feels less like a game and more like a playable samurai film.
What are you guys doing? Trying to take out that gunship!
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is superhero gaming perfected. The narrative is heartfelt, thrilling, and full of emotional punch. Switching between Peter and Miles creates a dual hero dynamic. Characters grow, relationships shift, and moments like that final boss fight hit harder because you care. It's cinematic, yet still feels grounded in emotion and character. You've got two Spider-Men, each with their own abilities and gadgets. Miles brings the Venom bioelectricity. Peter brings symbiote brutality, and switching between them is seamless. Combat flows like a dance. Launch enemies, juggle them mid-air, slam them down, dodge, counter, and repeat. Game feel is god tier. Web swinging through NYC has never felt better. Every swing, dive, and web zip is pure freedom. The DualSense haptics make you feel the tension in the web. Transitions are instant. Animation is fluid. And side content is actually worth doing. God of War 2018. God of War reinvented itself and nailed it in every single aspect. The narrative hits hard from the opening scene and never lets go. Kratos, once a symbol of rage, is now a father struggling to connect with his son Atreus. The story is intimate yet epic, balancing raw emotion with Norse mythology. Combat is brutally satisfying. The Leviathan axe is one of the best weapons in gaming. The thunk when it returns to your hand is chef's kiss. You're constantly switching between axe throws, melee combos, parries, runic attacks, and eventually the blades of chaos. And it all feels flawless. The game feel is refined and powerful. From climbing mountains to solving puzzles with the axe, everything is tactile and polished. The world is stunningly crafted and transitions are seamless. No loading screens, no breaks, just constant flow. Red Dead Redemption 2 is storytelling and world building on another level. The narrative is slow-burning, cinematic, and deeply emotional. Arthur Morgan's journey is filled with complex characters, moral choices, and moments of reflection. Combat is perfect, and you can't describe the feeling of how good it is. It has to be played. There's a real sense of weight to every action. Hunting, brawling, robbing trains, everything feeds into gameplay variety. The game feel is near perfect. Riding across the plains while a storm rolls in, watching your horse's breath in the cold, cleaning your guns, shaving Arthur's beard. It all feels real. The attention to detail is unmatched. The world is reactive, dense, and alive. Every animal, NPC, and system plays off each other. You live in this world. The Witcher 3. Wild Hunt isn't just one of the best RPGs ever made. It's one of the best games, period. The narrative is masterful. Geralt of Rivia's search for Ciri is emotional and loaded with political intrigue, moral dilemmas, and unforgettable characters. Every choice you make matters, not just in the main story, but in side quests that often hit harder than entire campaigns in other games. Combat is deep and tactical. You're not a brute force tank, you're a monster slayer. You need to prepare, learn enemy weaknesses, use oils, bombs, and signs to survive. Swordplay is fluid and deadly. And once you master dodging, parrying, and spellcasting mid-combo, you feel unstoppable. The game feel is endlessly immersive. The world is massive but never empty. You ride across fields, forests, and war-torn villages, all brought to life with incredible detail. Dynamic weather, day-night cycles, ambient sound design, it all pulls you in.